Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to the Halo Forge Epidemic. I'm Hedef and I'm here to bring you an Aesthetic Forge tutorial. This is going to be a submission that's for human air vehicles. So you can see it covers a whole different range of human air vehicles, ranging from helicopters to flying drones to a pair of jets, and then what you can also see in the back is the addition of a small gondola. So those are all really cool. These have great aesthetics to them. They are built with sort of budget in mind, so you will be able to place these down relatively easily. They're not super complicated. Some of the designs are actually more complicated than you would think upon first inspection. So let's go ahead and take a look at the various vehicles you have here. I'm going to go ahead and start off with the gondola, which is not exactly a flying vehicle, but you know, it still looks cool. So the gondola itself can be seen right here. It's got a schmeef on the inside, sitting down, just relaxing, waiting to hit the slopes. Now the gondola itself is basically just two bunkers stuck together like this. These small covered bunker pieces there, linked together with a terminal battery there, and then wires on either side, going down to the various support pieces, on either side. So that's cool. Let's go down here. So this is going to be a smaller scale helicopter. This is going to be maybe a little Huey or something like that. This one looks really cool. It's more compact. So I'm going to go ahead and pull it out, you guys. Not completely, but just so you can see the basic elements. So you can see the tail section here has a bunch of terminal cases coming together. No real rotor besides a small flag stand that you can see here. And then on top the rotor is made out of a capture plate and various binary rifles. Now for the main body itself, it's a bit convoluted. I'll go ahead and pull this out. So to make the impression that there's a front where the pilot would be, is two of these turret monitors. I actually pull those up for you just so we can see the inside of this piece. Then what you have is going to be a block like this, and then you have a railing small that's going to be covering the bottom parts right here. Then what he does is he beefs out this central part with more railings that you can see here, a lot of blocks on the inside, and then to make the convincing doors, what he has are these antenna small pieces on either side, and then to make it look like there is sort of a continuation of the cockpit, he uses this base monitor to have some glass on the side. He has these two sort of landing supports here that made out of base stripes, and the inside is basically a whole series of blocks that you can see here meant to give it shape on the inside. Now let's go ahead and move forward to the bigger one. This looks like a huge transport helicopter. I think it looks very cool. You can even go inside and what you'll see is a little holding area. So the design for this is, again, not too complicated. It's got the tail section here made out of a bunch of railings. This one's a little more detailed, and the rotor itself has these holograms that stick out of either side. Then what we'll do is I'll go ahead and take apart the front. The front is essentially made out of a bunch of blocks here, angled just like that to give the front a nice big curved edge. They are not completely straight, so they angle off to the side to give the front kind of a rounded look. Then there will be a block here to help with the rounded parts. You'll see it continues onwards like that. Then you're going to have more blocks like this that start to angle back, form the front of the cockpit, and then he puts a row of turret monitors up top that'll finish off sort of where the cockpit is, and that'll start angling back into the main body. The main body itself is basically here going to be made out of these huge blocks, so that'll finish off the cockpit. Then you can see on the inside he puts a block just like this to cover it off. Then here he has block tall and thin here. He has a ceiling. Then what you'll see here is he puts two wall curve pieces, one on either side. And then on the inside, what's really interesting is he put a bunch of teleporter frames to make the walls. And what's cool about that is it also made a floor, and it has these nice, interesting looking interiors that adds to the theme. Then he added some chairs, and then it just turns basically into the tail that I pointed out before, which has a block here, and then blocks kind of curving into it just like this with railing pieces on the top and bottom. Then he uses these base stripes to be the rotors on top. Now let's go ahead and look at the drones over here. These are cool. These look like something out of, I think, the latest Call of Duty. So basically what he has are these gravity lifts supporting it on either side. Then he has antenna large and base turret here on this design. So it looks like it actually has a turret, and if you build this low enough to the ground, you could actually activate it. So that's kind of a cool way you can make it more functional. Otherwise, this one here, he has tilted the various grav lifts to make it look like it can turn and maneuver. Then he's given it some onboard weapon systems, so you can see rocket launchers sticking out of either side. He's got these two terminal wire junction boxes here, and then he's got saw sticking out of the bottom there. So that's cool, small touches that you can add right there, and I think that looks really great. Let's go ahead and take a look at the planes now. I'm saving the best for last. So this one here, what you're going to do is essentially the main body is going to be made out of these blocks. So he has one here, and then another one. Sorry, I grabbed the wrong piece here. And then what he does is he uses struts that you can see here that angle it back into the tail section. The tail section is going to have a block here to form sort of the main body of it, and then he angles it back using these blocks, and a final strut in the back like this that helps it angle up and look smooth. Then the tail section here is made out of a bunch of railings. The wings here are made out of, I believe, 3 block 5x1s. You have one here, and then one here, and I guess another one there. Then right here he uses gravity lifts, the heavy ones. And then the front is basically going to be 2 struts. So you have a strut on the top and a strut on the bottom that both make the nose. Then what he has is a barricade small embedded in here just for a little bit of different coloration. Right here he has a base monitor just for some glass and added detail. Then he uses a bank to cover that part off, and a ramp right there to finish off the conical look of the nose. Now over here, this is going to be my favorite one. This looks like a Harrier. This looks very cool, highly detailed, yet not too expensive. So let's go ahead and pull it apart. Essentially what you can see are the railings here. I'll just lift those up so you can see how I did it. Basically what you're going to want to do is put a whole series of them, one on either side, one on top, and then 2 on the bottom that kind of angle back like this. That's how you're going to make the more conical nose, of course. And then what he has right here is going to be a column just for the center of that, and then a railing to smooth out the bottom bit just like that. Then what he does is for the main body, he has a block essentially coming through the center of the plane there. Then what he did really ingeniously is he has this brace here that's going to make the cockpit, so he uses the brace there, and then on either side to make it look like that's an actual cockpit where the pilot could actually look out the sides. What he's done is a whole series of these turret monitors here, making it look like glass, so I can pull one of those out. That looks real cool. Then for the sort of the air intake for the jet engine, he has these pipes on either side, so one here, one on the other side. Those look really cool. It helps with the shape and the identifying of this vehicle. Then the wing has a block like this on either side, another block there, and then he has these 5x1 sticking out here. Excuse me, a little hiccup. And then on the other side he has these antenna smalls here and here. And then of course you can always add a turret there. Then as we move on to the back, what he's going to have is these crate smalls just to add more details. Again, a lot of this is a little bit superfluous, so you can narrow it down. Then he's got a block angling up into the tail section, another block tall and thin here coming across. Then for the tail section he uses these line upgrade barricade pieces. Looks nice. And then right here he has a base terminal for the lighting that looks like a really cool set piece. So guys, I hope you enjoy this. Again, a great shout out to Juggernauty1 who created this map. It's awesome. I recommend you download the map if possible, so you can really pick these apart and understand how they're made. Otherwise, I hope this helped spark some interest, and maybe you'll be able to create some maps out of it. If you have your own maps that you'd like to submit, check the link below and drop in a submission on our forums on 343 Industries community forums. We'll have a link down below. So thanks guys. See ya. Peace.